This is the Rockland Park Department for the January 12th meeting, 2020. Rich Furlong's present, Joe Reese, and Steve Murphy. First thing is accept the minutes of the October meeting, the last meeting we had, and I sent those out to you guys this afternoon. I don't know if you had time to get them or not, but giving your email. If you want, we can wait till the next meeting to approve them. If you want to read them, that's fine.
I'll make a motion to approve. I read them.
Yeah, the only thing that was really on there was the athletic club with their presentation. The rest of it was just to catch up. So
Second.
Steve, second. Okay. The next one is field and permit issues. Just to cover everything, we have none. I know Graz has called Peter. He wants to talk to him about spring sports. Have no idea what he wants to talk about, what they're thinking about, because nobody knows what's going on at this point. I don't know. We don't know anything. We do know we're going to have issues come the fall, or actually even spring, with the oval being gone. I haven't heard anything on the oval issue. I mean, school starting except for March. The last meeting that we were at, they were talking about a March start date. So we haven't heard anything from anything, official yet. I know they're out getting bids right now for the general contractor and all that. I think that all went out first December, the first of the year. So they're waiting to get that in so they can get going.
I talked to Penny
So,
today.
Rich, to back up a little there, what about?
Yeah. Go ahead, Steve.
So backing up a little bit prior to the spring schedule, what about that fall 2 schedule as far as football? Is that
We have not heard anything.
resurfaced?
Nothing. All he said was spring schedule. We have no idea. No idea. We don't know. Like I said, we gotta have to talk to him, find out what he's looking for. Because I tell you right now, with the numbers and stuff, no one's going to be there. Even outside, it's going to be tough. So I don't know. We don't know. We have to wait and talk to him. It's still all up in the air. Numbers aren't going in the right direction. So I mean, Framingham just shut down all their sports for 2 weeks now. Gone. East Bridgewater gone. So if that keeps happening, I don't think there'll be much of a season at this point. So it's all in their court. We just got to wait and see what they bring forward. That's all. Joe, you want to say something?
To the Oval, I talked to Rich Penny today about the playground because I like to save the Peace Stone there. Pete wants to move it over to Bicentennial, where we don't own the property anymore. I reached out to him to see if it was okay. He said it's fine to tear it down and take the Peace Stone so we don't lose that merchandise.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. I mean, they'll have no problem with us taking it down because that's something that they don't have to do, at this point. But we can steal the Peace Stone out of there. Yeah, this be probably the time of year to do it because it's too cold for anybody to be out there.
So I like to make a motion for Pete to go ahead and do that.
Well, we'll let him know. We don't need a motion. We'll just tell him. You got to go ahead and do it.
Okay.
You got the okay from them. Other than that, there's not much going on. Apparently, I guess there was some damage at Eston School the last 2 weekends, last 2 weeks. Cars have been going down on the field, doing donuts, ripping up their stuff. And so soccer's working with the school, trying to secure that field a little bit more, try to keep the cars off it. And I says, well, he has to deal with the school on that because it's school property. We don't have anything to say about it. So,
well, Pete went down there. Pete went down there yesterday to put a couple of barriers in place.
Yeah, the big thing is, I guess, the gate that they want locked, and that's up to the school to lock it. So they were working on that issue. Other than that, everything else seems to be going okay. Like I said, there's not a lot going on. I don't usually hear from anybody till February or March for schedules if there's going to be anything, and we'll know by then what's going on with the sports as far as softball, soccer, and all that stuff.
Rich, I'd like to give an update of what me and Pete did a couple of weeks ago. We took a ride with Chairman Mike Laughlin and the Chief of Police, John Llewellyn, and Jerry Aramo on the rail trail about people dumping along the rail trail. Well, what came out, make a long story short, what came out about it, that we're probably going to have to come up with some type of zoning article kind of like they did with snow removal, no parking on the streets during snow, something to that effect. We're going to have to come up with some type of zoning thing so they can enforce it. And we have to find the boundaries that technically no one really knows where they are. You know, some spots it's 25 feet, some spots it's a little bigger. Some people are doing a great job on the rail trail. They're making their own paths to the trail so they can connect to them. And some people are just putting leaves and brush to keep people out. It's going to be an ongoing problem, but hopefully the neighbors will start being a little nicer neighbors, I guess.
Well, I know this is an ongoing issue. It's been going for years. And I know in the past that there was something in the bylaws, and there's something there that this falls under, that they used to send letters to the abutters about doing. So maybe we can maybe they can look into that and see if there's something sitting in a file somewhere up at the town hall. So, but yeah, we'll get them to work on that. So and see what we can do. The other thing is that I sent out the budget to you guys. I don't know if you got it or not.
Yes.
Yep.
The budget, basically, they said was to level fund the budget. Okay, no extras, no nothing, no town meeting articles right now, none of that stuff. So what I did is I took the money from the rail trail and the money for the stadium, and I put it into the substitute account, into the extra guys, for the extra help. We don't know what the final budget's going to be. They still have to they have to negotiate raises for the town employees, so that none of that's in there. But I did take the 5,000 from the rail trail, 5,000 from the stadium, and I moved it into the line item for part-time help, for the extra help. So I figured the stadium is in pretty good shape. It really hasn't got used in the last year, so there's not a lot of wear and tear on it right now. And the other 5,000 from the rail trail, we were just using it for odds and ends stuff, filling in for fuel and tools and stuff to keep up with the rail trail. But other than that, the budget stayed exactly the same because we, again, level funded, no increases. And we'll see what happens. I mean, the rumors are that they're looking at shortfalls. Everybody's looking at shortfalls. I heard today was a Duxbury or Hanover's looking at 1.5 million right now already for a shortfall. Heard that on the news this morning. So I'm sure we're going to be somewhere.
So Rich,
Yeah.
how does the level budget work with the contractual raises?
They
You have to find it from somewhere else?
Usually when they're finalized and they're negotiated, the additional money is added to our budget. That's what's happened in the past. What they'll do is they'll figure out the amount of money that's needed for the first year, and then that money will be added to the line items to increase the budget at that point. Unless they say to us, we got to eat it, unless we have to make it up in our budget, then we have to, look at what we can cut to cover the raises. So
okay.
That's, again, it's a wait and see game at this point, because I don't think they've even started having any type of negotiations with anybody. So we just have to wait and see what they say.
On the budget that I was looking at, 2022,
Yeah.
I believe they didn't even give us 5,000 for the trail or the stadium, unless is that what you
No,
were
that's because I took it out and moved it up. I already took it out and moved it up. So I zeroed that. I zeroed that line item out. I lined the stadium out and took that money and put it into the part-time help.
Okay, because I thought they gave it to us back.
No,
but
they did. They gave it to us back this year at the special town meeting. We got it back. But for next year's budget, I just moved it into the part-time help. That way we
2020.
2022, right.
Okay,
right.
Correct. Thank
you. All right, so that's
keep in mind, Joe, that starts July 1st is 2022.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and the other thing is town meeting articles. I talked to Pete today. Equipment wise, doing very well. Repair wise, doing very well. That new mower, it definitely helped out. Took a little wear and tear off the older stuff. So he's got one of the old tractors. Well, it's not an old. I call it old, but it's not too old. It's got some major repairs because the prices on this stuff has gone up. So it's a new drive shaft, I think is what it is, and that's like $1,500. But it's worth fixing the tractor. So they're in the process of getting it all fixed, and we're doing good. The only thing that he was looking at himself, for the park, was a new roller. The rollers that we get up there are, they're in rough shape, need a lot of work, probably be cheaper. So he said that would probably be the number one thing he's looking at. That doesn't say we can't put in articles for the other stuff. It just does. We don't know what, at this point, we don't know what we're going to have for money or what we're going to be allowed to put in articles for. So as it gets closer to budget time and all that, we can decide what's going on.
I would like to see us do an article to realign that stadium and the new building and the office.
It's already on the books. We already had it last year, but we got cut because there was no money. We already had an article drawn up for that, so we can resubmit it. Because we had articles for the alarm system, we had articles for the new building over Reed Street, because that's definitely needed over there because it's starting to deteriorate and falling apart.
It's really bad, Rich.
Yeah, and we had that, and we had the alarm system, and the mezzanine was in there. There was like 3 or 4 articles we wrote up, but with the money the way it was and everything else, we had to back a lot of them out. But they're all written. They're all just going to be readjusted for money, and we can go from there. So,
Very good.
if anybody has any other ideas for articles, we can definitely look into them and get them on paper, and we can have a list ready for because I'm sure we'll have to go in front of capital planning at some point. But at this point right now, none of our articles that I know of would be over the $50,000. So we'll have to go to capital planning, but we won't have any articles for them. So, but other than
So
that,
what about we're not getting too far with the. Hey, Rich.
Go ahead. You're breaking up a little bit, Steve. Go ahead.
So we're not getting too far with this build out at the building.
Well,
Maintenance shed. Should we just
Pete?
Should we just put an article in for it?
Well, we were waiting for. There was an electrician that was supposed to come up and lay it all out for us and help us get it done pro bono. So I don't know where that stands. And he's had a plumber who's having a plumber come up and give him idea, what we have to do to get that done, so we can do some of the work ourselves, and then have the final stuff that tied in by the licensed people. I will talk to Pete on that tomorrow and see if we can get back on that. I'm sure with the COVID and everything else, it slowed it down a little bit, but there was an electrician that was going to come in and give us a hand as far as doing that stuff. And then the plumbing too. So I will talk to Pete tomorrow about getting our headed on that stuff. So
He only had a guy for the electricity, not the plumbing. He was going to hire someone for the plumbing.
He talked about calling somebody else and getting their ideas. So that's what I'll talk to him tomorrow and see if we can reach out to him. But other than that, everything seems to be going all right. The trucks are okay. Equipment wise, we're doing all right. Like I said, stadium, we haven't got much use. I guess they cleaned off the infield with the infield mix, and the leftover infield mix and stuff is all gone. So they got that off this week. So that's out of the middle of the field. So anything else? Anybody, got anything they want? I know we can't talk about unless it's on the thing, but anything with the fields? Joe, you guys have nothing, right? Nothing yet with you guys?
Nothing.
Okay. And I haven't heard anything from anybody, football, and no one has talked to me, or emailed me. So
the only thing we have, Legion is coming back instead of Area X, but this COVID, it can change in a heartbeat like last year. So.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, we know. That's the big thing. We're all waiting for answers, So. All right. Well, I mean, that's it. It was a short meeting. There's not a lot going on. It's January. Anybody's got anything they want to add for the next meeting? I'll definitely put on the budget, town meeting articles, so we can, maybe get them all written up. And, if we get any permits or any field stuff coming up, as soon as maybe, if Gary Graz gets a hold of Pete and we have some conversations, I can let everybody know what's going on as far as the high school goes, but we haven't heard anything from them.
Update on the Reeds Pond property. Gene has reached out to a company to get that tested, Reeds Pond, and it's going to be somewhere around $1,500 to $2,000, which I think CPA might be able to help out with that.
What does she want to get? What does she want to get tested?
It was part of the. I don't think you were on the call when we had the meeting with the selectmen.
Yeah.
Executive session. To go forward on buying this land, everyone wanted us to test the water.
There's nothing there, but I can, unless it's something leaching out of someone's house, but the water's fine.
Better than safe than sorry, you know what I mean?
I know.
So it's there's different levels of testing.
Yeah.
And everyone's basically on sewer, so we're not going to have sewage running in there. It's
it runs. It does run through there, but if you find a broken line, you'd know about it.
Right. So,
yeah, that's fine.
So going forward, everyone feels comfortable buying this property.
Yeah, it does make sense, but I don't think they're going to find anything unless something's leaching out of someone's system, But other than that, I can't think of anything else. It's field. Oh, youth football did reach out to me back in early December. They wanted to do something. If high school football went, youth football wanted to go. And their question to me is, do you got a place for us to practice? And I said, I can't tell you here in November, December, what's going to happen in February, March. If they start the school construction on time, which is March, that field's gone, and I don't know where else to put you guys.
Maybe Hartsel.
No, because everybody's going to be using that. We still use that for youth commission, and lacrosse is still out there. So it's kind of hard to put everybody out there at the same time. It's like you probably have to go back to your regular season. Go back to August and on, trying to squeeze it in now, because if lacrosse goes, they'll be down Hartsel. That's where they play. As soccer will have Aston, and I know we're going to have to find some place for the high school. So I just don't know where we just don't have a lot of fields, and everything we have will definitely get overused, and we're going to have a lot of issues next couple of years. So.
Do you know where they're staging the equipment and materials?
For the school, no idea. No idea. I know at one of the meetings that I went to at the middle school library, they wanted to take all the parking over at Reed Street and use that for the workers, and I told them you can't. I says, first of all, school parks there, people going to school, dropping their kids off, and second of all, that's where all my walkers park. I said, I can't have you guys park there for the next 2 years. I said, no one will be able to get to use my track. So, and I guess there's a new thing out there. I'm not 100% with it. That they can only keep so much of their material on site for like a week. They can't stockpile everything there. So they have to find an alternate location to put all this stuff. And I just don't know where they're going to go. I really don't. So it's all wait and see. So.
Well, we probably should put youth football on our agenda and maybe start thinking about where they can practice and stuff, or over at the air base, something. I don't know.
Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to think about that one, because again, high school and them at the same time. I don't know what to say. You know, high schools, you can have soccer, football, all at the same time. You know, it's so we'll just have to do something, and maybe they, you know, do some creative scheduling. I don't know. So
Well,
it's gonna be a chore. We'll just have to work on it.
well, sooner, the better.
Well, we only got one field, Joe.
I know, but we got to
We got-
get the discussion
we got-
going so we can try to figure this out and solve it and help them out as much as we can.
we only have we got the behind Memorial Park, but high school, that's just it. You know, high school's gonna be out there because that's where high school always goes, and they're gonna be out there just as much because they're not gonna have the oval. And then when youth shows up, they're gonna have to wait till high school finishes. You know, and then parking. We don't know about parking. You know, so yeah, we might have to go try to find something over the base. You know, see if we can get something over there. You know, so I will. I'll talk to see if I can get a hold of people over the base and see what they say. So, all right. Anybody else got anything else? We'll have a rough couple months. That's all. All right. Like I said, we'll schedule the next meeting. I'll get a date. We'll set it out there. And anybody wants anything on the agenda, let me know and we'll add it in there. Okay.
All right. Dave,
Motion adjourned.
motion to adjourn.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
Second.
All right. Second by Steve.
Second.
Thank you.